Alexa, turn off the TV.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to Pro Gun Chat. It's been a while since we did it live. I hope everyone had a safe and happy New Year. And as people join, if you have any questions or any topics you want to discuss, just feel free to enter them into the chat and we'll get to them as soon as we can. We'll give it a few more minutes, see if anyone else joins. And I just released a video today on everything you need to build your own AR-15. I've had some people ask what you need to do that, so I decided to do a video. I also have some videos coming soon. I have some new products coming in to review, and as soon as they come in, I'll review them and upload the videos. Well, we have 5 people here in the stream right now. Please feel free to type in any subject you want to discuss. Hey Jacob, thanks for joining us. Again, as always, I'd like to thank all our subscribers, and I appreciate everyone watching our videos. We are monetized, and we do receive revenue every time somebody watches a video, so that is what I use to purchase new guns and accessories to review for you guys. And thanks for subscribing, Jacob. I appreciate it. It's subscribers like you that help us continue the channel. It's very expensive laying out money out of my own pocket to buy guns and accessories, so all our videos are monetized. When I receive my monetization check, that's what I use to purchase firearms, and guns, accessories, optics, etc. Also, if you guys could spread the word, I'd appreciate it. Please share our channel and like and share our videos. Kiachi, I hope I'm saying it correctly. I'm from Tennessee, originally from the communist state of New Jersey, But when they took away all my gun rights, I moved to Tennessee. We have no restrictions here. Matter of fact, you don't even need a permit to carry, open or concealed. So, God bless America. Love the great state of Tennessee. Yes, Big Cheese. Yeah, I'm related to Joey Diaz. So my recent purchase was the Colt Python Combat Elite. How old am I? I'm old. I'm 65 years old. I've got probably 50 years experience with firearms. I started shooting when I was a kid. My dad used to take me shooting, and my first gun that I learned how to shoot was a 45 Long Colt and then 357 Magnum. I'm also a certified NRA instructor, and I'm certified as a pistol instructor by the state of Tennessee. Excuse me. I recently purchased a Colt Python Combat Elite, and man, that is sweet. I got to tell you, it was hard to get past that $1,500 price tag, but it's worth every penny of it. I'm glad you love the name. I always wanted to get a Colt Python. I could never afford it before, so I was real happy when Colt decided to bring the Python back. It is an awesome gun. I got to tell you, that is my prized possession. But I don't have any safe queens. I carry all of mine, one way or another. Some more frequently than others, but if it's not a gun worth shooting or carrying, I don't own it. Yeah, I got to tell you, you know, you see that $1,500 price tag, and it kind of makes you balk. But when you pick that thing up and you pull that hammer back and you pull the trigger, it's smooth as butter. You wonder how you lived without it. And I want to thank you all because the revenue that I generate from this channel helps pay for the firearms. So thank you again for watching my videos. If you really want to support the channel, watch as many videos as you can because the more you watch, the more revenue we make, the more stuff I could get to review for you guys. And Jacob, I don't understand what is your new year? What does that mean? And I do tell people to subscribe and share videos with your friends, share our channel. My New Year's resolution is to buy more guns. I haven't bought any guns in 2025 yet. Yeah, actually, we have over 4,000. We're getting very, very close to 5,000. My goal for 2025 is to have 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, I like those single action army guns. I don't know if I'd carry one, but they're a lot of fun. Okay, Samuel, my thoughts on the PSA ARs. It's funny, I just released a video on everything you need to build your own AR-15. They do sell their, excuse me, PSA does sell fully assembled ARs, and they're very reasonable. They are good quality. Their components are great. I use their lower receivers. I also use their drop-in triggers. Yeah, actually, I was going to get into the cowboy action as well. They shoot wax bullets, but that's competition is really tough. And my pet, Veli, I can't pronounce it. But anyway, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. So to continue on your question, Samuel, even though the PSA ARs are reasonably priced, you may still want to build your own because you can get all the components from PSA, and you can get a better trigger. It's a lot of fun, and you learn more about the gun. No problem, Samuel. I'm a big fan of PSA. Like I said, I prefer when I built mine. I bought the lower parts kit without the trigger control group because it's a pain in the ass to put the trigger assembly together, and the PSA drop-in trigger is awesome. It's a single stage drop-in module. They give you the hardware. You drop it in the lower receiver, and it's a competition trigger. It's only 3.5 pounds, and I like it a lot. And Jacob, stick with it, brother. It takes a long time. You're trying to get 100 subscribers. In order to get monetized on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers. And it took me 3 years to get 1,000 subscribers. However, this year was a great year. We got 3,000 subscribers in 2024. We're up to almost 5,000. And my goal now is to have 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. It's a little aggressive, but it's possible. And thanks for the congratulations there. It's just very difficult running a YouTube gun channel and being a smaller channel and trying to compete with the big guys. I don't have the luxury of having 1 million subscribers, so Smith & Wesson and Glock, they don't send me firearms for free. I actually have to purchase all of my firearms and accessories, so it does get expensive. Hey, here's my buddy Louie. I was wondering if you were going to join. And yes, Louie, I'm loving that Python. You were right, brother. It's worth every penny of it. So you have a black powder channel. Okay, well, I could tell you why your videos get flagged. YouTube is very, very touchy when it comes to gun stuff. Um, they don't like you showing how to do things. Um, Even something as simple as an optic, they flag and they don't monetize. And they're probably run by liberals and they're the ones that review it. My thoughts on restrictions on non-gun weapons. What would that be? You talking about knives, slingshots, stun guns? Air guns. Yeah, I don't believe there should be any restrictions on air guns. I mean, it's possible that you can injure somebody, but um, your odds are you're not going to kill them. I have a few of them myself. I play around with in the backyard. I mean, even tannerite. Um, Fortunately, I live in the great state of Tennessee, so we're always blowing up shit in the backyard. Yeah, I remember those days, Louis. I remember when I lived in New Germany, and I bought an air pistol, and I had to get a pistol permit. Um, in the great state of Tennessee, you could buy air guns. You don't need anything. And I love that I could shoot in my backyard. When I was in New Jersey, if you did that, you'd definitely go to jail. And by the way, for those of you running a YouTube channel, in order to get monetized, you need 1,000 viewers, and you also need to have 4,000 watch hours. So, um, you know, getting the 1,000 subscribers is tough, but 4,000 watch hours doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot because based on the analytics, the average duration that someone watches a video is only 2 minutes. Hey Louis, do you need a permit in New Jersey to purchase a stun gun or mace? I mean, we can get them in Walmart down here. I think that was the biggest shock when I moved to Tennessee is that you can go to Walmart and buy ammo, and uh, you walk into like Tractor Supply, they sell ammo there. I mean, you can pretty much buy ammo anywhere down here. And Tennessee does not participate in the NICS system. Tennessee has their own system called TICS. Takes about 30 seconds, and they're open every day of the year, such as New Year, Thanksgiving. The only day they are not open is Christmas Day. My thoughts on federal ban on fully automatic weapons. That's a tough one. Um, if if you're a responsible gun owner, obviously, um, hold on. All right, my pet Velociprinter, whatever, however you say it. Thanks for joining. Have a good weekend, brother. Um, the only problem I see with the fully automatic weapons is if you miss, you're going to strike a lot of innocent people. So maybe they should be on a federal ban. I mean, let's face it, the system is broken. We know there's people that have firearms that shouldn't have them. However, to get back to that topic, the problem is if you're going to deem me competent and qualified to carry a handgun, but yet tell me I can only have 10 rounds, that's almost like you pulled a number out of your ass and saying that 10 casualties is acceptable. I mean, one dead person that's an innocent bystander is one too many, right? But to say that, you could kill 10 people but not 15 is just stupid. I'm sure the Constitution never said, you can only carry X amount of rounds. And like I said, if you're going to give me a permit to carry a firearm and tell me I'm capable and competent, then it shouldn't matter how many rounds I have. Yes, you can. Yes, Louis, you can get a full auto permit. We could own machine guns and full autos here in Tennessee, but I don't want to pay the $200 tax fee to the ATF. And it's not only for paying the tax fee; it's because now you're in the federal database, and I just don't want to do that. I'm hoping now that President Trump is back in office, he wipes out the ATF and cleans house and starts over because the ATF has been abusing their power for years. And the ATF's job is to enforce existing gun laws, not make up stupid shit like they do now. That's the executive branch of government. Their job is to create laws. The ATF's job is just to enforce those laws, but apparently they make up their own rules on bump stocks, etc., pistol braces, and that's not their job. But all the government agencies have been run by the liberals for so long that they just run amok. Yeah, I agree, Lewis. They didn't tell you. Matter of fact, when the Constitution was written, it didn't even say that a felon couldn't own a gun. And contrary to what Brandon says, you actually can own a cannon. By the way, Louis, I took a look at that Ruger RMX, the supposed Glock clone. Yeah, they teamed up with Magpul. I'm not really a fan of that grip on it. I saw it yesterday at Rural King. The sale price at $399 isn't bad, but the list price is $500. And if you're going to spend $500 on a Glock clone, you may as well just go spend the extra $50 and buy a real Glock. Um, Not that there's anything wrong with the Ruger, but the Glock clone just hasn't been out long enough to prove over time how reliable it is. Like, uh, as much as people may hate Glocks, uh, I have a lot of Glocks, and They're ugly. There's nothing cool about them. But those things, man, they go bang every time. And I would trust my life to that. And after just getting that Python, I already have a Smith & Wesson 686. So I think now I'm going to get a Ruger GP 100. I'm really starting to like revolvers again. Matter of fact, I'm having a holster custom made for me for my Colt Python because I will carry it. That is not a safe queen. Yeah, it's actually freezing here in Tennessee today too, Louis. It's only 30 something degrees. The next couple days will be in the 20s, and then we'll be back up to 60 degrees again by the middle of the week next week. Supposedly getting snow flurries tomorrow night and Monday, but then it's going up to 45, 50, 60 degrees. It's a nice thing I like about Tennessee is that we don't have those back-to-back-to-back freezing cold days like we did in New Jersey. And if it snows today, it's 48 degrees the next day, it all melts. And welcome, Dysfunctionality from Canada. I actually have quite a few subscribers from Canada, Philippines. It never even occurred to me to look and see what countries the subscribers are from until I run my analytics, and there's quite a few countries that people subscribe to the channel. It's very interesting. Now, speaking of Canada, you guys are screwed with guns now. When you get rid of Trudeau, you should become the 51st state. So, as far as future reviews go, you guys feel free to leave comments what products you'd like to see me review and what topics you'd like me to discuss. I'd be more than happy to do that. It gets more and more difficult every week trying to think of a product to review or a topic to speak about. Just because I think it's a good idea doesn't mean it is. Louis, you gonna get the Echelon comp? I love my full-size Echelon. The comp wasn't available when I bought that, but I have no intention of getting that. We don't winterize bikes down here, brother. Unlike New Jersey there, Louis, we ride here probably 12 months a year. I don't have to put gas stabilizer or anything in it. The garage never gets below 40 degrees. And thanks for joining, V. I appreciate your comments. Glad you enjoyed our videos. To answer your holster question, do you carry a holster inside or outside the waistband? Because that will have a lot to do with my recommendation. And I've reviewed a lot of holsters, so please feel free to take a look at my holster reviews. Okay, so if you're going to carry a firearm in your purse, my wife and I just released a video from Hiding Hilda, and it is actually a concealed carry sling bag. Um, you may want to look into a concealed carry purse or a concealed carry sling bag. I'm not a fan of people. It makes me cringe when I see a woman just throw a firearm in her purse. Or you could also get something like a clinger or a sticky holster and put your firearm in that and then put it in your purse so that lipstick or a pen or anything doesn't get stuck in the trigger guard. Yeah, well, yeah, your teacher said you could shoot right through the purse. Yes and no, depending on what you're carrying. Um, if you're carrying a revolver, yes, you could shoot through a purse or you could shoot through a pocket. But if you're carrying a semi-automatic, depending on the size of the purse and the semi-automatic, the slide may not, the purse may not be big enough to accommodate the slide, and when the slide goes back, the gun may go out of battery. So, to answer that question, V, do you carry a revolver or a semi-automatic? Carry a Glock. Okay. Well, that's good. It's a reliable gun. I carry a Glock a lot of times myself. The Beretta is also a good gun. Um, would that be in the case, though? I doubt that it would be a good gun to shoot from the purse because the slide's going to come back and it's probably going to go out of battery because something will stop the slide. Um, you may want to look into the concealed carry purses. I did a bunch of videos on that. The sling bag, or even a belly band. I just got uh, a belly band from the Mission First Tactical, and that's also a great option. Yep, 1911 is a great gun. Best trigger out of the box ever. Oh, thanks for joining, Jacob. No, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'll probably be starting to do this on a weekly basis, though. Um, it seems to be getting more and more popular, and people are asking for it. So I'm going to try to do them either on Saturdays or Sundays. We'll see how it goes. But you have a great day there, Jacob. Thanks for joining. And by the way, V, for as far as the female goes, my wife prefers the belly band holsters because women have a different issue than men do, right? When it comes to peeing, uh, it's just a lot harder for a woman to carry a firearm inside the waistband. So at least with the belly band holster, you could move it up or down. You can. It just makes things a lot easier. But as far as carrying in a purse goes, it makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck, especially as a NRA pistol instructor. I'm not a fan of carrying a firearm off body. Somebody steals your purse. Um, Now they also have your firearm. Um, you have to babysit your firearm everywhere you go. You leave it on the back of your chair. It just, you keep your firearm in a purse, and a child is going through your purse trying to find money or candy, and they find a gun. I'm not a fan of that. Life's lesson. How you doing there? Thanks for joining. And there's no specific topic. Anything you guys want to talk about, I'm here for you guys. I could give you my opinions or discuss things that you want to discuss. And good for you, V. I open carry too, and it's not to be a badass. I'm a fat guy, and I don't want to fight with my clothes to get to my firearm. And in Tennessee, we can open or concealed carry. And I never buy that bullshit where, oh, you're a target. I'm not buying that. The bad guys are criminals. They're not going to approach somebody with a firearm, number one. Number two, I've never seen any data that suggested that people that were open carrying have become more of a target than not. I'm just glad people carry. Everybody should carry. I carry 365. I even carry when I work from home, and that is because most home invasions, contrary to popular belief, happen between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, because that's when people are at work and kids are in school. So I'm just happy that you carry. I don't care how you do it, but it makes me laugh when I hear these people criticize, oh, you shouldn't carry outside the waistband. It's the element of surprise. Coming from somebody using a Kydex holster that you could hear in the next county. So much for the surprise. Yeah, Massachusetts is a tough state. I used to live in the communist state of New Germany, and I thought that was bad, but Massachusetts is even worse. That's right up there with California and Maryland. And you know what? Lifespan, I actually is a good point, and I agree with you. The people that criticize other people for open carrying, first of all, is none of their damn business, right? It's your right to open carry, not somebody else's right to tell you what to do. But I agree that it probably is a good way to deter a problem. There were probably 2 or 3 instances that I'm pretty sure that because they saw my firearm, they didn't do anything. I was in a store a couple times and I saw people really paying attention to me, and I think it's because they saw my firearm. And I often wonder how many times, if I didn't carry a firearm, may I have been a victim. So I agree. I don't care who sees it. You know what? Concealed carry is concealed carry, right? A lot of people who conceal carry apparently never look in the mirror, because when I go to Lowe's or Home Depot or the convenience store, I see these people with their firearms printing through their shirts. People aren't stupid. And I'd rather blatantly open carry than look like a horse's ass. You're not fooling anybody when your firearm is printing through your shirt. Um, well, that depends on where you live there, life's lesson. I live in the great state of Tennessee. Um, a lot of people open carry here. If I walk down the street, I've walked past law enforcement carrying a firearm. I walk in the store. People don't look at you goofy because you're carrying a firearm down here. As some states, yeah, they will look at you goofy. Some may even call the police. It'll make people uneasy depending on what state you live in. But fortunately, in Tennessee, people don't care. Hello, man. Thanks for joining, brother. I'm glad you joined, and welcome to Alabama. I'm really shocked that in Alabama, if you walk through Walmart, um, you'd get bothered. And it's funny because before this pandemic bullshit, if you walked into a store carrying a firearm wearing a mask, you'd go to jail, right? And I remember Tennessee, fortunately for the pandemic, it only lasted a month. And I walked into the credit union carrying my gun like I always do. And the cop wouldn't let me in. And I was like, oh shit, my gun. And he said, no, you can't come in here without a mask. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Can you imagine 4 or 5 years ago walking into a bank or a store carrying a firearm with a mask on? You would definitely go to jail. But during the pandemic, they made you wear a mask even though you can carry a firearm, which is just absolutely retarded. I thought Alabama had laws like Tennessee and Florida. I had no idea Alabama was strict. Louis, if you're still with us, did you get your carrier permit yet? Not that there's many places you can carry in New Jersey, but there's one thing that I'm probably not going to test the law on because um, in a lot of places the cops don't even know the law. But I built quite a few AR pistols. Recently, I built the 300 blackout pistol. Now, legally, not technically, legally, because the barrel is less than 16 inches and overall length is less than 26 inches, the ATF considers that a pistol. So, legally, I could walk around with my AR pistol and open carry it, but I'm not going to test that law because some dumbass cop that didn't get the memo or doesn't know the law is going to come and arrest me, and I'm going to have to waste a couple hours in the jail cell while they try to figure that out. Yeah, low man, we had the same thing here, brother. When I first moved to Tennessee, I had to take an 8 hour class, and I had to qualify with my firearm. And then July of last year, our great governor now changed the law where you don't need any permit to carry, uh, and you don't even need to be a Tennessee resident. Anybody that's not a felon from any state that comes to Tennessee, as long as they're over 21, can carry a firearm open or concealed. Um, I'm hoping to see them drop that 21 down to 18 to be truly constitutional. But and Jacob, to answer your to answer your question about how I make videos, I just use my cell phone with a tripod. I'm a gun guy. I'm not a videographer, so I just use what I have. I'd rather spend the money on guns and accessories than camera equipment. And apparently, you guys are still watching my videos, even though I make them with my phone. So um, there's no incentive to go out and buy it. Jacob, if you want to message me offline, I'd be more than happy to answer all of your questions about streaming and using YouTube for your videos. You can either message me personally, you can contact me at biggun. I'll actually put it in here. Another thing I'm going to do, you guys may not be aware of this, but we also have a Pro Gun uh, Facebook channel. So I'm going to copy the link. And if you guys want to join our Pro Gun Facebook group, you can do that. I appreciate your comment there, V. I am trying to get more female subscribers. That's why I have my wife do some videos once in a while. Um, there's a huge amount of females that carry a firearm. So I don't know why we don't have uh, more females subscribing to the channel. And, you know, things are just different for females. Like, for instance, my wife carries the Springfield, I'm sorry, the Smith & Wesson Equalizer. She just doesn't have the hand strength to rack my 1911 or my 10 millimeter. So I got her the Equalizer, which is got the easy technology, just like the Shield EZ. So as a female, V, I would appreciate it if you find our videos of value, if you can share our videos or your channels with any of your female friends. I'd really appreciate that. And sharing any of our videos with your friends. I mean, I'm sure there's some topics that you have friends that would be interested. I'd appreciate it if you could just share the link to the video or our channel with them. The more subscribers we get, the more revenue we earn, and the more things I can purchase and review for you guys. That link should work. Jacob, let me try it out here. Um, oh, you know what? You're right. Didn't work. Sorry about that. That should do it. However, it's only going to work if you have a Facebook account. And we have 1,500 members in that group. I don't know why that link is not working there. You know what? Let me try this in a different browser. No, it does work. I put it in Firefox. I put it in Chrome, and it asks to join. So I don't know what's going on your end there, but that link to our Pro Gun Facebook channel is working. Louis, to answer your question, believe me, I've looked into all of those. Okay, um, and I am a licensed insurance producer in the state of Tennessee. I was also a licensed insurance producer when I was in New Jersey. The problem is that those products, Law Shield, USCCAA, there's a bunch of them out there. They it should actually be illegal. They're misrepresenting those products as insurance products. And they're not insurance companies and they're not insurance policies. What what that is you're actually paying for membership to a legal network. Okay? So in the event you had to use your firearm, it pays your legal fees. Now, some of those products allow you to use any lawyer. Some of them allow you to use only their attorneys. But that's not the issue here because people, they use the word insurance, which should be illegal because, think about it, insurance is you pay a premium, something bad happens, and they pay for the damages. These are not insurance policies. They do not pay for um, property damage or bodily injury to others. And I'll give you a perfect example. I come over to your house, Louis, for barbecue, right? You have the propane tank there, and little Joey's sitting on the picnic table eating his watermelon, minding his own business. I have a negligent discharge. My firearm goes off, hits the propane tank, your house catches on fire, little Joey gets third-degree burns. All it's paying for is my legal fees. It's not going to pay for your house damage. It's not going to pay for little Joey's bodily injury. For that, you need a firearms liability policy. And you may be better off looking into your homeowner's policy and getting an umbrella policy. Um, as an NRA member now, the Locked On Infinity does have a liability policy. I don't know what to tell you there, Jacob. I tried that link with 2 or 3 other browsers, and I'm not logged into Facebook, and it does work. So, but anyway, Louis. So to answer your question, all of those products is nothing more than membership to a legal network. What you really need to look into and speak to an insurance agent about is personal property damage and bodily injury to others. And none of those products do that. And that's very important. They also, when they say cover your legal fees, that's only the lawyers, okay? If you get taken to court a year later and there's a judgment on you and even if you were found not guilty, but you went to civil court and they put a judgment on you that you'd have to pay for the rest of your life, it does not pay for the civil damages. Yes, it basically is just lawyer fees. Some of them will pay for, time away from your job or hotels if you're going back and forth to court, loss of wages. But no, they are not like a homeowner's policy. Yeah, actually, living in New Jersey, I would bet you that you're not going to be able to get a homeowner's policy that's got firearms liability coverage. But I'm glad you brought that question up there, Louis, because so many people are joining these networks thinking that, well, I'm protected if I have to use my firearm to defend myself, but they're only protected as far as legal fees go. Now, don't get me wrong, legal fees could be staggering, so it's not a waste of money. However, you go to shoot an attacker and you miss, and you hit an innocent bystander, and you need to pay for their medical bills. They are not paying for that. They're not going to pay for damage to other people's properties. So I just want to clarify that. I hope I did that. Or I hope I made myself clear. You're welcome, Louie. This is what I'm here for, brother. You got any questions, just send them in. If I don't get to them in the chat, I'll answer them at the next time. But I'm here for you guys, whatever you guys want to discuss. I do not use WhatsApp. Too much spam. You know what? I'll put my email in here. So, Jacob, if you have any questions, you can just send comments there. And same with you guys. If you all have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Just send me an email and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Yeah, I feel bad for the New Jersey people. I'm reading your comment, and that's why I left New Jersey. Governor Murphy destroyed that state. Um, it's a joke. The bad guys are not going to follow the law. This is what the politicians don't get. The bad guys are still going to have their guns, and you're not. So in New Jersey, the bad guys are licking their chops because you can't defend yourself. And right before I moved here, because in New Jersey, you need a permit to purchase a gun, right? When you buy a gun, state police get a copy, your local police get a copy, and you get a copy. Well, I got a letter in the mail by my local police department in Woodland Park, New Jersey, saying that if I didn't surrender my high-capacity magazines by December 28th, I would become a Class E felon and they could confiscate my firearms. And the reason they knew I had high-capacity magazines is because they got a copy of my pistol purchase permit and they knew that I had a Glock 20 that held 15 rounds. And they must have been going through all of those receipts that they had, and they sent me my letter, and that was the last straw. And I think when we decided to move out of New Germany and move to Tennessee, we were gone in 3 weeks. And down here, there's no pistol permit. You just go in the store and you pay the guy. Ammo, you go into Rural King or Tractor Supply, and the ammo is right next to the potato chips. And you don't even need a firearms ID card. You don't even need a driver's license to buy ammo. Yeah, that reminds me, being at Irish Hell, about the mag blocks. I forgot how much money it cost me to go to the local gunsmith and have him pin all my magazines, which was really a pain in the ass because I had to get my magazines for the ARs pinned because they could only be 10 rounds. And then I moved to the great state of Tennessee, excuse me, and we have no restrictions, and I had to go out and buy all new magazines again. But Tennessee is just a great place for gun owners. I can shoot in my backyard. I go to the store. And by the way, being that we don't need a permit to buy a handgun, you could fill up your shopping cart and buy 100 guns in one day. All right, Jacob, have a good one, brother. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Tennessee is absolutely is a great option. Um, the gun laws, if anything, surprisingly, are less strict. When I first moved here, you needed an enhanced carry permit to open carry, and now you don't need anything. Anybody can carry. But more importantly, in New Jersey, you know that when you get a pistol permit, you can only buy one gun with it, and that permit is only good for 90 days, right? So if you, like during the pandemic, if you couldn't find your firearm that you wanted and your permit ran out and the chief wanted to be a dick, you'd have to apply all over again, right? Now down here, don't know laws. You go to the store, you put 100 guns in your shopping cart, they run it through the tick system one time, and you pay the guy and you leave. That easy. And as far as ammo goes, the ammo's right next to the potato chips in Rural King. You don't have to present a firearms ID card to even look or touch the ammo. You fill up your shopping cart and you're good to go. Yes, you're right. I stand correct. Yes, they do the background check for all the firearms. What my point is that you don't need, in New Jersey, you needed to apply for a pistol permit for every pistol you bought, and you could only buy one at a time. So I guess what I'm saying is, yes, they're going to do a check on each gun, but there's no limit to the amount of guns you could buy in one transaction. So thanks for clarifying that. Alexander, thanks for joining. All right, Louis, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, as always. I will talk to you during the week since we do that. And thanks again. Have a happy new year, brother. Be safe. Thanks, Louis. Coming from New Jersey, though, any state is a great state. All right, Jacob, the stream will be available even when it ends, so you can just watch it and see what you missed. Yeah, I don't blame you there, David. Um, that is why I love New Jersey. Irish Hell, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it, brother. You have a happy new year as well. Yeah, David, once Governor Murphy took over and they started giving shit away to the illegals and um, with a swipe of a pen in the middle of the night came up with all of these bullshit gun laws. That's why I moved to Tennessee. But I have friends of mine that moved from New Jersey to Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania was gun friendly. But Pennsylvania is not gun friendly anymore. And I appreciate and I value the great state of Tennessee is a very red, gun friendly state now. But, you know, I don't take it for granted. That could change in one election. And yes, New Jersey did have the best pizza. They also had the best bagels as well. And I miss nothing about New Jersey except for the food. Um, there's things you can't get in Tennessee, like you can't get Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches down here, which, oh my God, I'd kill for. Um, the pizza sucks. You can't get bagels down here. But if the worst part about living in Tennessee is that the food sucks, I could live with that. And the snacks really suck because when I was in Jersey, I used to love the Drake's products like Devil Dogs, uh, Yankee Doodles, Ring Dings, etc. And now coming to Tennessee, all they have are Little Diabetes and Hostess, and they suck. Alexander, to answer your question, um, that depends on the state you live in. Um, Unfortunately, the United States doesn't have firearms laws that are federal, and I'm hoping President Trump fixes that. Right now, every state gets to make up their own bullshit laws, and I'm really hoping that President Trump has creates national reciprocity. I could never understand that because um, when you go to get your driver's license, they tell you that driving is a privilege. It's not a right, it's a privilege. And if it's a privilege, you could drive from one state to another, no questions asked. But yet, the right to keep and bear arms is a right, but yet you go from one state to the next and you can go to jail. Jacob, I don't know how long this is going to go, but when it ends, you can still watch it. Depends on how much feedback I get from these guys. If they have topics they want to discuss. All right, Jacob. I'll see you later. Thanks for joining. Also, I'd appreciate if you guys could leave me comments on what products you'd like to see me review, uh, what topics you'd like me to discuss. I'd really appreciate that because it gets harder and harder every week to come up with new videos. And I'm not going to just turn out videos just to turn out videos. I want them to be meaningful or uh, review cannabis product. Yeah, that's a good one. If it was firearms related, I would take that into consideration. I will be taking a trip to the local gun store in a few minutes. Like I said, I just bought that Colt Python the other day, and uh, I don't have any 357 Magnum defense rounds, so I need to go get some of that. Also, if you guys haven't done so, you could check out the Pro Gun store. We have T-shirts and coffee mugs if you want to show support that way. You could like our videos if you hit the thanks button. Some people have made small donations. We appreciate anything we can get here. It gets very expensive purchasing firearms out of my own pocket. Yes, Alexander, it's complicated even for people living here. Um, there's some states that have reciprocity between each other, and that is basically an agreement between the governors so that if you go from this state to that state, they both accept each other's permits. But every once in a while, you have a governors get into a fight or a pissing match, and they revoke reciprocity. So um, you do need to make it a point and check on your own. Uh, I, anytime I'm traveling to another state, uh, I always check the firearm laws. Let's see. V, do you think it's a mistake not to register in another state fingerprints if you get your. That depends on the state. If I'm assuming if you're going to get a CCW, um, every state is going to make you get fingerprinted. But you only need to get fingerprinted in the state you're going to carry in, or the state that's issuing you your permit. Um, I don't quite understand. Like, if I go to North Carolina, I don't need to be fingerprinted there. You only need to be fingerprinted in the state your concealed carry permit comes from, and it is mandatory. They're not going to give you a carrier's permit without you getting fingerprinted. And that's okay that you're the minority here, V. We welcome everyone, and we appreciate and value you. And I'm hoping you can get us some more female members, or viewers, subscribers, etc. There's a hell of a lot of females out there, and there's a lot of products that would benefit them. Excuse me. Actually, if you can help me out, V, I'd appreciate it. Um, Let me know what products related to firearms that you think a female would be interested in. And you worry about the girls. I'm sorry, V. I don't understand that statement. They're carrying, and I worry about the girls. I mean, if nothing else, the channel should be at least educational for females as well as males. Um, One thing I'm a little disappointed in is once the state of Tennessee no longer required a permit to carry a firearm, nobody gets gun training. Um, and believe me, I'm all for less laws than more. But when it comes to carrying a firearm, I want to know the person next to me at least knows something about a gun. I'm not so sure I'm a huge fan of any coconut off the street could go buy a gun and carry it without any training. And my biggest fear is that there's people now that are going out and buying firearms. They're not getting training, and they're carrying this firearm like it's going to magically save their life in an emergency situation without them ever going to the range and shooting. Um, so I guess you could say I'm really not a fan uh, that there's no requirements in order to carry. There's just too many people go out and buy a gun, go to the range, and you could tell never shot it before. I mean, I have a lot of videos here for new gun owners. You should at least, as a minimum, be experimenting and using snap caps so that you can at least load and unload your gun so you don't look like a dumbass at the range. I've seen a lot of people with a gun at the range, and they're pointing it all over the place. They're just not safe. Um, Fortunately, besides being a NRA pistol instructor, I'm also a range safety officer. So when I see people doing things like that, I stop them immediately and um, make them leave. I'm happy that these live streams are getting more participants and more people are asking questions and bringing up topics of discussion. That encourages me to do more of these. I just don't know whether I'm going to do these on a weekly or a monthly basis. Maybe it'll just be a monthly basis for now, unless people ask otherwise. But y'all can leave that in your comments here after the stream is over. I'd really like to know whether you want to see that. All right, V, thanks for joining us. Sorry you got to leave. Happy New Year to y'all, too. All right, guys. Well, if no one has any other questions or firearm related topics they want to bring up, I'll end this stream in 5 minutes. And you all can leave your comments whether you want to see these more often or once a month. It is getting better. This is the first time we've actually had people leave comments and having it be interactive and asking questions and opinions. So that's encouraging. All right, guys, unless there's anything else, I'm going to shut down the live stream. Again, I appreciate everyone for subscribing to the channel. We greatly appreciate that. If you want to consider being a member or leaving us a donation so that we can purchase more firearms and accessories, I'd appreciate that as well. Any comments on what we could do to make the channel better, that would be a big help. Like I said, I do what I think people are going to like, but if there's anything that I would do that would be better for the channel or things you'd like, your comments are always welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your time. Hope to see you next time.